People with toddlers, what's the most recent illogical breakdown they've had? It was around 7 in the evening when the meltdown happened. Dinner was done, Sophie was crawling around the living room chewing on a toy remote, and I was trying to get her older sister, Lily, into pajamas before the usual bedtime chaos started. Lily is 4, stubborn as can be, and has these moments where her imagination takes her places I could never anticipate. She went to the bathroom like normal. I heard the toilet lid clank, the sound of her little feet tapping against the tile floor, and then silence. Usually, it takes her a couple of minutes, because she gets distracted singing songs to herself or narrating stories about princesses who are also astronauts. This time though, barely half a minute passed before the bathroom door creaked open. Lily shuffled out, her eyes already filling with tears, her lip trembling like she just witnessed something tragic. I thought maybe she fell, or maybe Sophie had grabbed one of her toys. But then Lily burst into full-on sobbing, the kind with the gasping hiccups between cries. "What's wrong?" I asked, kneeling down to her. She collapsed into my arms, shaking her head so hard her curls whipped against my chin. She was crying so loudly I couldn't understand her at first. I rubbed her back, waited for her to calm down enough to get the words out. Finally, in a strangled little voice, she managed. "I was so bored." "Bored?" I repeated, still trying to piece it together. "On the potty," she wailed. "I was just sitting there. It took so long for the pee to come out. I just sat there. And it was boring. And it's going to be boring forever." I blinked, caught completely off guard by the scale of her despair. She was genuinely grieving the idea that going to the bathroom would be a lifelong burden of 30-second intervals of boredom. She pulled back, her face blotchy and wet, and continued her rant with the seriousness of a tiny philosopher confronting mortality. "I'll have to do it every day. All the time. I'll just sit there. Forever. And it will never stop being boring." Her hands flew up in the air like she was preaching to some invisible congregation. She stomped her foot on the carpet, tears streaming down her cheeks, her whole body racked with the unfairness of it all. I tried not to laugh, but her logic kept spiraling. She marched in circles around the hallway, still sobbing, shouting out proclamations of doom. "I can't read a book while I pee because then I'll forget to wipe. I can't bring toys because they'll fall in. It's just me, and the pee forever and ever." By this point, Sophie had crawled into the hall and was watching Lily like she was the best reality show on TV. She clapped her hands, squealed, and laughed every time Lily shouted another line, which only made Lily more distraught. "It's not funny, Sophie. You don't know. You just pee in your diaper and you're done." Lily finally collapsed dramatically on the hallway floor, starfished out, sobbing into the carpet. "It's my whole life. My whole life wasted. Sitting on the potty. I'll never be free." I scooped her up, sat on the couch with her, and she buried her face against my shoulder, still hiccuping. Every few seconds she'd pull back and add more to her declaration of doom. "Even when I'm grown up, I'll still have to sit there. And when I'm really, really old, still sitting, still waiting, still bored." I stroked her hair while she cried herself into exhaustion. Sophie crawled over, tried to pull at Lily's pajama pants, and giggled, which got her swatted away. Lily sniffled. She doesn't understand. She doesn't know about pee time. After about 20 minutes, her sobs slowed into little sniffles, then silence. She curled up in my lap, completely wrung out from the storm of her own logic. Her voice was tiny when she whispered, "I just don't want to be bored forever." I kissed the top of her head, and she finally let herself drift down into calm. 10 minutes later I was carrying her to bed, her arms limp around my neck, her hair still damp from tears. That was the whole night derailed by a bathroom epiphany that hit her like a ton of bricks, the crushing reality that life would always involve 30-second stretches of sitting and waiting. When I tucked her in and kissed her goodnight, she mumbled one last thing, almost like she was making peace with her fate. "Tomorrow I'll try again. But it's still boring." Then she rolled over, hugged her stuffed giraffe tight, and fell asleep.